Joining me in the studio today is a very special guest. We have International Skating Union President Mr. Kim Jae-youl. Mr. Kim, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Well, thank you. Well, I do want to ask you, first of all, this is the 9th Asian Winter Games. It is the first in Sapporo in 2017, and it's also your first as ISU president. Now, the short track speed skating events wrapped up earlier today. Speed skating runs till Tuesday, which is the same day the figure skating starts. So, please, can you give us just an overall assessment of what's been happening on the ice, the competition, and just some of the drama that we've seen so far in these races?
I'm sure you've been following our spectacular competitions in short track and speed skating, and we will soon start our figure skating competition on Tuesday. Everything has been running smoothly, and as a president of International Skating Union, I'm thrilled and so excited that we're having this Asian Winter Games in Harbin, the beautiful city of ice in Heilongjiang province. So I'm excited to be here.
Now, as for some of the races themselves, you're native of South Korea, and of course your country, as expected, has done very well in the short track. Your skaters won 5 of the 6 individual medals. China has also done very well on the ice. In speed skating, too, we've seen 2 Asian records set by Gao Tingyu in the men's 100-meter and China's flag bearer Ning Zhongyan in an Asian record in the men's 1,500 meters. Han Mei led a sweep of the women's 1,500 meters in speed skating. So tremendous results. Can you talk a bit about those and who else we should keep our eye on in the skating events?
Well, we have so many great skaters competing in this Asian Winter Games, but what is also striking and makes me happy is that we have 260 skaters from 20 countries competing. Not only the traditional winter sports strong countries, including China, Korea, Japan, and Kazakhstan, but we have skaters from Kuwait, Qatar, Indonesia, India, Thailand, all competing for their flags. And it's so moving to see all this young generation of skaters from the warmer climate countries challenging themselves to be winter athletes. It's a great news for our sport.
Now, Harbin and Heilongjiang province have long been winter sports destinations. Can you talk a little bit about the organizing committee's efforts to prepare for these games and just the facilities, everything that they have set up?
Well, first, when we heard the announcement that the Harbin was going to host the 9th edition of Asian Winter Games, we were thrilled, and we assigned technical delegates to support the Chinese authorities and the officials. And on the ground, we have more than a few ISU referees and officials working hand in hand with the Chinese national technical officers to run the events, and everything is going smoothly. We actually didn't have anything to worry because China has had extensive experience hosting many mega international sporting events, including skating events. So a lot of experience under the belt. And Harbin being the winter mecca of ice skating, where the city that has produced many Olympic champions for speed skating, short track, and figure skating. So we have Yang, who's the woman who won the first Olympic gold medal from the Winter Olympics. We have Zhang Hong, who won the first speed skating Olympic gold. We have Shen Xue and Zhang Hongbo. They're all coming from Harbin. So Harbin has a strong culture and passion for skating. And Harbin also has a great infrastructure that they built for the Asian Winter Games in Harbin, which took place in 1996. So I was at the speed skating oval yesterday, which was used for that 96 Asian Winter Games. The venue is in perfect shape, ice is good, skaters were happy because the ice was fast. And as you mentioned, we had many records being broken at this Asian Winter Games. So organization, running of the event, flawless. So we're very, very happy.
Well, I know the organizers will be happy to hear that. Another thing that you mentioned and that's so important in these Asian Winter Games is just the growth of Asian winter sports. This is the largest edition ever of the Asian Winter Games. The 9th edition features 34 National Olympic Committees. There are 1,275 some athletes competing. And as you mentioned too, it's the underrepresented nations from warmer parts of Asia that are here competing. Can you talk a bit about the growth of Asian winter sports and how important these Asian Winter Games are to that growth?
Well, so the many Asian countries, and especially the younger generation people, are getting interested in the winter sports. And what's good about winter sport or skating sports is that we can do all the sporting indoor these days. So regardless of the temperature outside, as long as we have the ice rink, you can practice skating. So there's been an increase in interest in skating sports, even in the warmer climate countries. And because the Asia has hosted last two Winter Olympic Games, one in Pyeongchang in 2018 and one in Beijing in 2022. I think those two Olympics have done left a lot of legacy in the region, giving hope to the Asian athletes that we can be very competitive in winter sports, not only in skating but even on the snow sports. And Harbin 2025 is continuing the momentum that's built through those two last editions of the Winter Olympic Games, opening the door for the athletes from the warmer climate countries. So, for example, China has done a tremendous job utilizing the legacy of Beijing 2022, not only hosting many important ISU events, but also opening the facility to help out the athletes from the neighboring countries to practice and elevate their skills in skating. So we had a big training camp in the past summer, and we are currently talking with Chinese authorities and our sports bodies to host another longer, extensive training camp to elevate and help the skaters from the region to participate and learn from the great coaching that the strong skating countries have.
Well, this sort of cooperation is what is so wonderful about sports, right? And you have cooperation on the macro level that you're talking about there, but also the micro level between the athletes themselves on the ice or on the snow. Japan, South Korea, and China have won the most medals of any nation at the Asian Winter Games. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship between those three countries and maybe some of the stories of the competition and the friendships between them?
So the top athletes, they're all very competitive. They give everything they got on the ice when they're competing. But when the race is over, it's just so heartwarming to see them just becoming back to becoming friends, because they share so many things. They go through the similar training routine. They go through such hardship with a strong determination to be top of the game. So they have a lot to share. So when the race is over, they just the strong bond that they build is just really moving. So even yesterday, I was at the ceremony, and where skaters from different countries waiting for the victory ceremony, and they're smiling and chatting, joking. But whereas 5 minutes ago, they're just giving everything they got to be on the podium. So it's that's what sports is about: the competition, but also the friendship.
Now, winter sports are, of course, expensive. They require more infrastructure and equipment than most summer sports. When you were elected, you are the first non-European president of the ISU, and being from South Korea, do you feel any extra motivation to help grow sports and grow skating in Asia in particularly? And what can you help to do to help, spread the sport to these countries that, one, maybe not have an indoor ice rink, and two, just don't have the money to get kids into these kinds of sports?
Right. So I'm interested in developing the sports not only in Asia but throughout the world. So we've been working together with our colleagues throughout different countries to develop our Vision 2030, which is to attract more younger people to practice our sports and fall in love with our sports. And of course, it's very important that we inspire and motivate younger generations of people to practice our sports. So there are a couple of things that we have done, including the introduction of World Ice Skating Day. We picked a date, second Sunday in December, and collaborate with the partners ice rinks throughout the world. We opened up the ice rink so the kids can come with their family to experience skating for the first time. And hopefully they'll continue to practice our sports is one thing. Helping the development of skaters from the warmer countries, very important. Like you said, there are countries that don't have the regular size ice rink. And for them, it's a great opportunity for them to come to Beijing or Gangwon in Korea or here in Bain in Netherlands to practice with the best in the perfectly conditioned ice. So we do many development programs targeted to help elevate the level of interest and also the level of skills of the skaters from the warmer countries.
Mr. Kim, I'd like to finish on a bit of a philosophic, esoteric note. I'm from Canada. We grew up playing in the winter. That means throwing snowballs, sliding on ice. And I believe as long as winter has been around and humans struggling with it, they've also found ways to play. We were talking before about just sliding on ice, any surfaces, picking up a pair of skates, be it a frozen pond or lake or anything like that. What to you is the essence and the appeal of skating? Why is it so fun?
Well, have you skated recently?
Not recently, and I regret it, but I would like to, yeah.
No, I highly recommend you to put on the skate and step on the ice and feel the feeling of gliding fast on the ice. Is just exhilarating, and it's hard to explain the feeling. Yesterday, our team went to Songhwa River because we've heard about the outdoor activities, which includes skating there. And when I got there, it just made me feel that I was the 7-year-old young kid again. It just bring me the memory from the past. So I encourage everybody to put back on the skates, or if you haven't skated before, please do put on the skates and experience the feeling of gliding on the ice.
Fantastic. Mr. Kim, one more question just about these games in particular. So we've seen some of these records broken. We've seen some other things. Would you predict anything else? Do you think, particularly in figure skating, after the retirement of Japanese star Yuzuru Hanyu after the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, there's perhaps a bit of a void in that sport, the most popular winter sport in the world? Do you see any young stars rising up from Asia, perhaps making their name here in Harbin that we should really keep an eye out?
Oh, there are many skaters with great potential. Some have already demonstrated their ability beyond imagination. So we have American skater who's not part of the Asian game, but he's the first one to land the quad axel in the men's history. So he's an amazing skater to watch. But we have many junior skaters coming up in Asia, and China also has been investing heavily on all skating disciplines, including figure skating. So it's just a matter of time when and who will be the next stars on the ice. Please keep your eyes on our ice and our sports.
Mr. Kim Jae-youl, thank you so much. I think that is a great way to end it. Thank you very much for your time.